The Radium Podcast, episode 61. A great year for the Fender Stratocaster. And we got Kevin, KDE Beats, in the house.
What's happening?
He's back.
Back with a vengeance.
Back with a vengeance. He's been taking a lot of pisses today.
Yeah, caffeine. I don't drink caffeine like you guys, so like when I drink some caffeine, I'm like,
just goes through.
Was it a diuretic, right?
There you go.
So, but anyways,
not to be confused with something that makes you shit, because I think a lot of people think a diuretic is something that makes you shit.
Would beans be considered diuretic?
No. All right.
What about Taco Bell?
We're off to a great start, episode 61. So today we're going to talk about the artist startup. What is it to be an artist in 1995? And
yeah, we're going to take it back to 1995
and
focus really hard on that.
I feel like a lot of people are focused on 95 in the music industry, so I figured, why not us?
Yeah, well, I figured too. We just we break it down. You know what I mean? Like
keep it 95.
Everyone wants to like put money into things that don't matter, and we've made enough fun of that.
Oh yeah,
this podcast. So.
And I think we've put enough money into things that don't matter.
So yeah, won't we talk about what things actually matter?
Yeah, right. So yeah, being an artist startup is, I feel like, being like any startup, right? You have competition.
Nah, bro, you gotta be lit.
You gotta be lit.
Gotta be him.
Like tech startups, same thing. It's like you're trying to get ahead of the curve. You're trying to release a product or a thing before someone else releases it. You're chasing these, app developers. They chase an app and then someone else releases it before them and they're like done for. The art world's just a little different than that, of course, but
I think the life cycle of an artist is pretty close to the app world.
Yeah, right.
Like you could have an app that works for 2 years and then people, the next thing comes out and makes it completely unusable.
Facts. They're like, yeah, this is whack. Snapchat, I mean, Instagram does that now, so it's all good. You sound like Drake? Okay, cool. Well, Drake does that better, so we don't care about you. But yeah, I think some key things to focus on as an artist being a startup is truly treating yourself like a startup. It's like, how much money do you have in the bank? How much money do you have to spend on this? Cash flow is important, but I think like the most important thing is knowing what do you have to spend. Like
time to monetization is the real key.
Facts.
How quick can you make some money?
Capitalization. A lot of artists come into this like, I don't have any money. I'm just going to be an artist. I'm just going to release records. You're like, you're going to have a really, really hard time. And I don't mean like you can't do it, because a lot of artists have done that. What? They pull favors. They're like, I got a laptop. I'm going to record myself, produce myself, mix myself, master myself, put on my own records, blah, 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 blah. Build my Instagram following, all that stuff, all on my own. I'm going to do it all on my own. And I think like that is just a long, long, long struggle. One thing I would recommend right away, just like any startup, is have a source of capital. If you got to do a crowdfunding thing, I think go for it.
I'm too lit, dog. I don't want to be out there like that.
Yeah. Yeah, if we're talking about rappers, you're not going to see rappers crowdfunding. You're going to see them, drug funding or something else that like fits the mentality a little bit better. But
trap funding.
Trap funding. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Coin the term.
The trap investment plan.
We don't crowd fund, we trap fund.
The trap investment plan.
But one thing I would say is, if you don't have one, get a credit card. It's really important.
Here's the CVV and
No, really important thing though. Like with this is like something that I think a lot of people misunderstand. A lot of people think a credit card is evil. They've been spouted this stuff their whole life as a middle class, lower middle class, and then they become artists, and then they're like, I'm a poor, starving artist, and I'm not supposed to use credit cards. I'm not borrowing money. And it's like, you got it all wrong. Credit cards are to be used on investments. And if you are investing in your company, use credit. Take a line, take a loan, whatever you got to do. This is an investment in you. It's an investment in building something that you're trying to return on. I'm not saying like go get a credit card and buy a car you can't afford. Like that's not an investment. Go get shoes, go get pants, go
those
get
VVS's, dog. You need You need that shine in your mouth. You dig?
Put the bottle service on your credit card. You know you're going to be broke for the rest of your life. But if you're using a credit card the right way, you're using a loan or a line of credit the right way, that's just as good as getting a record deal, maybe better. And I think that's an overlooked idea and strategy. A lot of artists are like, no, I need that deal. I need that deal. I need that deal. But I want to make it really clear, if you're not ready for a deal, you're just getting a loan at a really high interest rate.
Or you should literally just go get a personal loan from someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got good credit, like definitely just get a personal loan, get a credit card.
No, like literally people go get a loan. And if you don't
Facts.
know anybody with money, then you need to actually change your friends up and hang around with people that make more money than you.
Yeah, have them invest in you if you believe in your music career as a startup. We're talking about a startup, and I mean like treat it like a startup business. The first thing you want to do is like register as a business. Have a business bank account so you can write things off for business expenses. When you go play a show, you got to get a new microphone. You got to get a TC Helicon. You got to get an auto-tune for your live set or whatever. Put it all on the business. You can write it all off at the end. Mm-hmm. You cannot write off meals or entertainment anymore. That used to be something you could write off in business, but you can't do that anymore. So hopefully that helps you.
You're talking about meals or entertainment or both?
Any of them, yeah. You don't write it off anymore.
But you can write off gas.
You can, yeah.
And
travel
you will
expenses.
Use gas, yeah.
And you could write off what you wear at the show. Like literally, if it's just an outfit for your show, like I bought these shoes, these pants, this jacket, this dope shit for my show, you can write that off. But here's the tricky part. You can only wear it for that show. It has to be a uniform, right? So it's the only time you wear it is when you're on shows or when you're out as an artist. So that's kind of a nice little like gray line. But yeah, if you're going to invest in you and in your career, use a business bank account, sign up as an LLC. C Corp is probably the best.
S Corp.
S Corp is the best because it's the tax pass through, which is basically saying you're not paying all the taxes. You're just paying federal and state tax instead of paying Social Security and Medicare as well. Mm-hmm. Now, when you are just a solopreneur, or let's say you're just using solo proprietorship, or your LLC C Corp, or your any other structure, you're paying both Medicare, Social Security, and then your federal and state taxes. In California, we got it crazy. A lot of taxes and income taxes, but as well we have sales tax.
But if you're trapping, you're not worried about paying taxes.
Yeah, but if you're trapping, more power to you. Avoid the tax, the IRS. I don't know if that's a very good strategy, honestly.
Cash money records.
But it's like here's the interesting part though. Like if you're willing to take the risk of like selling drugs to fund your music career, but you're not willing to take the risk of like a loan or using a credit card, like that to me is hilarious.
Yeah. Let's get something you mentioned, which is uniform.
Uniform.
The truth is, the way you dress and the way people perceive you is really important.
As an artist, for sure.
You will have to spend on what we call your uniform. But I think the hardest thing for artists to understand is that is a very small percentage of what they should be spending their money on.
Yeah, right. No, it's 90% expenditure. Get that chain.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So with uniform, you should, and honestly, the smartest people would have a single uniform and use it for every damn photo shoot, every damn stage performance, every whatever, because it's you're kind of creating the image in your consumers' minds. So I would just literally just get one dope outfit and stick with it at all times. And I know it's hard because you want to like change shit up all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You think that people are judging you because
artists want to have purple hair one week and
Yeah.
have pink hair the next and
Right.
red hair the next week. But really,
It's
you gotta just stick to one thing. You think Justin Bieber like switches up whenever he feels like it? Like no,
I mean, he can now.
he can.
But I think like that's like
We're talking about startups. When he was starting
Right.
up, they flipped when he changed his hair. Remember, he cut off the bowl cut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they were selling so much Justin Bieber merch and all this.
Yeah,
they were like,
what
oh
the-
my gosh,
You shaved your head.
it doesn't even look like him. And what are we gonna do? We have to reprint all this shit.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
they had millions
same
invested
thing
in
with
the merch.
same thing with
So,
G-Eazy, Like he had his slick back hair, and then when he bleached it and everything, everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
And guess what? He's back to that shit. So
how dare you? But like that's a big part of the brand, you know?
Yeah.
But not even that. It's just like once you have to become really big, like worldwide celebrity status, you know, Kim Kardashian big to be like changing up your image like that. So yeah, stick to one image.
Yeah, stick to
brand.
one thing and brand the fuck out of it.
If you wear your hair a certain way, like I always got it dreaded and pulled back or whatever, and cornrows, like just do that all the time.
Remember when Luda cut his hair?
Like people are like, what?
Who is this guy, right?
Yeah,
he was known for the big hair, like that was his brand. You know what I
Facts.
mean? So like, yeah, like literally, you gotta really stick with like one thing and see it through.
Same with Snoop and the cornrows.
Yeah,
he just always had that. He always had the rows back, and you know that was
his
look.
image. Yeah.
But you know, like this is really important stuff, and it's stuff that's very overlooked. But
oh, you want to hear a funny one? Sorry.
Yeah.
Before we switch it, like Lil Jon. Every time I saw him without his glasses on, I was like, "Who is that guy?
Who is that guy?"
You know what I mean? And
I
then you saw Lil Jon with the glasses on, like, "Oh, that's Lil Jon."
Oh, that's Lil Juan. Wait, that's just Spanish for.
But anyways,
Juan is not John, is it?
the next expenditure, you need a freaking logo. You need a logo, and artists love doing that, like changing the logo every time. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh, this single, it's a new logo.
I'm gonna switch it up.
And we're doing new typeface.
Everyone's confused. I don't know that guy.
Yeah.
Who's this new artist?
Yeah, like the logo. Like, oh, now it's first. Now it's a freaking lightning bolt, and now it's a dog, a bulldog, and now it's every single is something new typeface on it. You know what I mean? It's just like any corporate business.
Like you're not Uber, dude. Like you're not worth billions of dollars. Like not everybody in the world has your app on their phone. You know, like I think that's the thing that artists get ahead of themselves. They're like, I'm big, and in my head, I'm just blowing up. And you're like,
people are bored of that already.
Yeah. I'm bored of it, so everyone else is. You know, I can't do that again. You're like, dude, you have to do that again.
What?
Like, it's part of the brand.
The artist thing is I got to reinvent myself. Like, and I got to switch all my clothes up.
Every day, every week.
Every day, every moment, I got to reinvent myself.
Man, this ain't fresh anymore. I ain't fresh anymore. Yeah, you got to own shit, man. Like, that's a big part of being a startup. It's like, could you imagine if like a technology startup was just like,
switch the logo
the
up
app's
every
not
week.
working. Let's do a dog walking app instead. We don't know anything about dogs. It's just not fresh. Doing this thing with coffee.
They're doing a car thing.
Yeah.
We need to do an Uber thing now.
Drake came out with a new kind of sound, so let's do that now. Like, it's just like, yeah, you're just chasing stuff that's like already been used up. Yeah, being a startup is really hard.
But let's get into that little branding. You know, we had a branding podcast already, but
brand it.
You gotta. It takes years really to for a brand identity to sink in the minds of your consumers. Explain that a little more, Brad.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Okay,
checking my phone.
He was looking at all his little girlies in the DMs on Instagram. You know, he's got it popping.
Yeah, got it popping. It's out of control.
No, it takes years to create a brand identity in the minds of your consumers. Explain that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, from my perspective, it's like do something over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you got like 5 people paying attention to you after like 3 months, 6 months, right? And they're like, oh, well, he's got to keep doing this, right? Yeah. And then you like build this identity around who you are, and you get a small following, and like this is the biggest thing that I think the biggest mistake most people make with not only like their social media marketing. But we're talking about branding, and branding really is like it's sort of like who you are as a company, as a person, as an artist, whatever, and what resonates with you, your ethics, like what you believe in, what you stand for.
Company culture.
Yeah, not being like in the middle, like not being lukewarm, but being like, this is what I believe and this is what I do. And every message you put across is that vein. You're not just kind of like, oh, I feel this way now, and then I feel this way today, and I'm hardcore now, and my brand's hardcore, and now I'm soft and I'm R&B, and it's like, no, you got to like stick to that one thing.
It's your culture, your scene.
Yeah, it's your culture, and you're going to build your culture, which is your fan base, around that. And so your core fan base is going to be expecting that of you.
And so when you're in Lincoln Park and you switch to soft rock,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Like just imagine your dad. Like he's a smart guy, takes care of the family. He's putting food on the table. He doesn't curse. He doesn't drink too often. You know, he's like a good dad, right? And then one day you come home and he's like belligerent, drunk, punching holes in the wall and hitting
strippers
and hitting your mom. You know, like if your dad just does that out of nowhere, you're gonna be like, what the. This isn't my dad. You're going to be mad. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to be like, I feel betrayed. And that's how your fan base is going to be if you start pivoting all the time. It's like, I'll do this and no, I'll do that. And then they're like, I don't even want to, I can't keep up with that person. Yeah. And a lot of fans, they want to find something that's stable that they can come to, like HBO, right? They want to go to Game of Thrones. They want to expect like that the next season's going to be as good as this season, whatever, right? Stranger Things, it's going to like keep the concept of this other world and what is it called? The other side or the underground, the upside down or whatever. But like, dude, if you all of a sudden, like if we get season 3 of Stranger Things and it's like on
Disney show
and it's on planet Jupiter and it's got some new stars in it, like you're going to be like, this is so dumb.
Hey,
this isn't even Stranger Things.
That reminds me of Men in Black. You know how they just dropped a new Men in Black that flopped?
Yeah, because it's not Men in Black.
Because it's not Will Smith. Where's Will Smith?
Yeah, where is the Man in Black? Where is the guy that made the whole franchise?
Yeah.
You know, so you got to be really careful with that. And what we're talking about here is like just consistency with what you're saying. With what you're saying, how you're dressing, with how you're acting. How do you talk about politics all the time? Like, if you do, keep that going. If you never talk politics, don't all of a sudden jump into politics. You know what, man? Fuck Trump, man. I all of a sudden feel this way. People are going to be like, the fuck did this come from? This guy doesn't talk about politics. He's like always booty shaking, party, popping bottles, and then all of a sudden he's like talking about President Trump or, whatever president, It's like, you don't talk politics. Nobody knows you for being a professional in politics. It's like we got on the Radium Podcast and we just started talking about sports cars. Yeah, Kev, so how's the Ferrari fucking... Exactly. That's exactly what...
I don't have any stupid responses for you right now. I'm sorry. Fresh out of stupid responses.
Just be chewing on your tongue, People be like, why am I watching the Radium Podcast on cars? Like, I'm so confused right now. But this is what artists do every day to their fans. They like randomly get on this, like, I'm going to talk about acai bowls. Like, motherfucker, what are you talking about acai bowls for?
Yeah.
Like randomly. It's like, why are you all of a sudden on this fruit bowl thing? I can't keep up with you. Like I can't even like, you're not talking about what you're supposed to talk about. I follow you for this. So that's a big thing. Brand identity has to do with 360. It's like, what colors do you wear? Who do you hang out with? Who are the people around you? What parties do you go to? What events do you promote?
Yeah.
Like if you're randomly promoting, like you see this all the time, and I'm going to call you guys out because you guys are fucking sellout and you look so dumb and you're ruining your brand.
We're giving ats out.
I'm atting.
At who on Instagram, Brad?
Go. Don't at me, right? But no, it's like, you got these energy drinks and you're sponsored by it. You look like a fucking clown. And it's like, what are you doing? Like you're ruining your career for a few $100,000, whatever. Like you're getting like, oh, I get $500 every time I post this. It's like, dude, you're an artist. Like, especially if you're a pop artist or a rapper or something, like go into your brand. Don't go into a energy drinks brand. It's so silly to me. Like you really got to find things that align with you, not the other way around.
Like if you're Lil Xan, you should be promoting Xanax.
Like, yeah, just do.
You should have a brand deal with Xanax
at the end. Yeah. May cause drowsiness and bloody nose running. Yeah, Lil Xan. Like if you're Lil
Lil Uzi, you should have some weapons. A weapons deal.
Facts, You should have an arms trade deal, something like that, Like, you just got to be careful with this. If you're Lil Agua, is there a Lil Agua yet?
No, I don't know, but
you got to get a water deal, bro. Lil Ice, he's got to have an ice deal. It's super important that you stay on what you're doing, stay focused. That's what I got to say about that, Kev.
Okay, let's get back to what you need on an artist startup. So yeah, you got to invest in some damn logos. The next thing,
get your logos right.
Brad likes to talk about this, so I'm gonna alley it up. I'm gonna tee up the baseball here. Is you gotta put some money in some promo. Damn it. That is probably like, so you've heard me say this, and I think I stole this from Brad, but about what, like 50 to 60% of your operating budget needs to go into marketing as a business.
I think it's higher up front.
Yeah.
So the big thing is like put more money into marketing than anything else in your business up front. So here's a great example. You're going to make a release, right? I got a 6-song project. It's my first project. Drop the songs as singles, put $300 towards making the song, the actual product. I don't know what your budget is, but make sure you got a budget. Like, what is it? $6,000, $1,000 per song, let's say, right? Like you like spend
Dog, the chain is gonna cost $5,000 alone. How is he gonna afford it? He's got $30 for marketing.
Done. That advance, that loan, that credit card pay, that's just done. It's spent. I'm done. My music career's over. I got an idea. I'll just
but
get
he got
free
the
VVS's,
VVS's, dog. Yeah. He's lit forever.
See, that's the problem though. That truly is the issue. So all things aside, like you got $1,000 per song, you got 6 songs. We've talked about this in another podcast where we do budgeting and we talk about this stuff. So go back to that podcast. I think it's like 58, 59, something like that. And we just break down like budgeting your releases. But if you got $1,000, you need to spend most of it on actual promo, running ads, getting influencers to shout you out, getting features, whatever you got to do to get the songs heard. Because you can spend $1,000 per song on the production, the writing, all this stuff, the mixing, mastering, and you're not even ready for it, And then you have nobody's gonna hear it. Like you drop it on your Instagram page as a post, and you got like 1,000 followers. It's like going on deaf ears. You're wasting your money.
You know what?
There's no point.
That makes me. Doesn't have to do with marketing, but I'll swing back around. I think a lot of startup artist businesses have too much product. They need to focus on
facts.
A couple pieces of product.
Oh yeah, that's really hard though.
Like you need 3 songs, you don't need an 18-song album.
Right. So in that case, that's a really good point, Kevin.
Yeah.
This is a big thing that I think we had to learn as a business right up front.
Mm-hmm.
Seek out mentorship. Like, what the fuck? If you don't know what you're doing and you're like, dude, I got 80 songs. Like, I get that from artists all the time, right? Like, they hit me up. We talk to artists all the time about mixing and mastering for them, producing for them, etc. They're independent artists. They're like, yo, how much to do this, whatever. And I'm like, well, what do you got going on, Because I want to know. Like, I'm not going to just work with you, right? And like, oh, bro, I got 80 songs. And I'm like, like right there, I'm just like, you don't know what you're doing. Like
how much would it cost for them to buy out just the copy, or you'd be able to use the copyrights for those beats?
Yeah, exactly. And most of it is like, I got 80 songs. You wrote 80 songs.
And if it's $25 a lease at 80 songs
to like beat leases that you don't own,
$25 beat leases, how much is that going to cost for you to even release that?
Right, even just that, tons of money, and to get any ears on it at all, you're just going to spend a ton of money. So getting mentorship is really important. You can understand what's important. Like for example, if an artist came to me with 80 songs, I'd be like, all right, let's break this down. Let me hear your stuff.
We need 3 out of your 80, so we're probably gonna have to just not even worry about majority of this.
Exactly, but the mentorship, the idea that you could go to somebody and they could go, "Yo, what are you trying to do?" And then you could explain things and you could sort things out, and you could have someone go like, "Hey, I got a bigger vision for what you're trying to do. Let's package this together as a product and how we can release it." If you're going for this kind of sound and this kind of vibe, I think this song, and this song are really great to start with. And maybe all those other songs don't really matter for now. And of course, I get it. It's art and it's stuff that you care about, but let's put it off to the side for now. Let's focus on these 3. And then let's make more around these 3. Or maybe just this one, like maybe you have a single. But I think a mentor can really guide you instead of you being like, I got 80 songs and I don't know what to do. And oh my God. And then you just never release music, or maybe you just try to put out all this shit. You flood it and nobody cares about your releases.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
That is a big problem. And I think a big problem also is being overcapitalized. It's actually one of the biggest issues with small businesses, startups, is that they're overcapitalized. They get too much confidence. They start spending money on
They
billboards.
buy things that don't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, they buy billboards and promo that they can't afford, that they don't need. Nobody knows about their music. They don't have very many releases out. And they just are so like, dude, I got so much money that I want to spend it. So they start spending it on stuff that's like, you're out of money now because you didn't put up the work. Like when you don't have any money, you don't have capitalization, or say you have very limited capitalization, you're much more willing to get on the phones. You're much more willing to ask, hey, influencer or someone I know. Right, totally. Yeah. Like you start bootstrapping and you're hungrier and you push harder. And then you'll sell your product before it's made even, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if you can get out there and you can sell the music before you take capitalization, you take, venture capitalist money, or you take record deal money, etc., then you have proof of concept. And the biggest thing that I think most businesses fail at is they don't have proof of concept. And artists are no different. You don't have any song that has 10 million streams on it.
You need to find results.
Yeah.
You've
never had a single. You've never got anywhere with any music in your life, but you want to put all this money into it. And it's like, you don't have any proof that you can do it.
Yeah.
Like you haven't closed a deal with anybody. Like there has to be proof there. So that's a big thing. Overcapitalization can kill you. It can kill your startup, kill your artistry. Some guy comes in, he sells drugs, he throws 20 grand at you.
We're talking about marketing. I think there's a huge misunderstanding because you can spend a lot of money on marketing and get no results.
Facts.
It happens all the time. In fact, I see like artists spend thousands of dollars. Like they'll tell me I just spent like $6,000 on PR or something like that. And it's like, dog, you didn't run any ads, but you put it all into PR. And so you got written on blog spots and shit. But like, where are your results? Because you got less than 1,000 plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's also important to understand how long marketing takes.
Yeah.
Marketing takes years. And if you start a marketing campaign and you stop marketing, you're not going to get anywhere. It's like literally like I know this is a terrible analogy, but it's like pumping a water well, because nobody knows what the fuck a water well is. But it's like you're pumping a water well and you have to keep pumping, and then you're just going and going and going and nothing's happening. No water's coming out. And then finally the inertia and it pulls the water up, and then you get like a little tiny drip. So you worked your ass off to get a drip going. And then most people will say like, yo, I got that drip. That's it. They'll be like, I got a few streams. I got 100 streams. I got 1,000 streams. That's it. And then they stop.
Well, they don't do what's a subsistence marketing where like, you're constantly spending money every month versus, hey, I just put 4,000 all at once.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you talk about that since you know about it.
It's all about consistency with marketing. And the reason is because up front, you have to connect your numbers. You have to collect the data. Like 100% collect data, understand your market, who likes your stuff. And then you got to finally you got to figure that out.
You got to run ads to know this. You don't know this. Everyone thinks, oh yeah, but see, people in Texas won't fuck with it. No,
right.
It's not your opinion of something. It's like, what are the factuals?
The market's going to tell you.
Did you run a campaign, and what were the results? You know what I mean?
And there are some like really good ways to go about this that'll help you, that'll shortcut this. Listen to your music and ask people, like ask your friends, your family, like, who does this remind you of? Like, what do you think about my music? Hit up people on Instagram and be like, hey, I'm just trying to get some feedback on my music. Like, who do you think I sound like? And then you can target the people that like, a lot of people keep telling me I sound like Ludacris from, 2005, right? But like the newer version of Ludacris or whatever. So then you need to go and target Ludacris fans, right? So people that would like Ludacris in the United States, let's say, whatever, to start. And then once you start finding, oh shit, Dallas, Texas, and Houston, Texas, and
it's a big market.
Yeah, they love my shit because like I'm hitting these up, and my cost per click is really low, and I'm getting a lot of people clicking on this thing on my music because they're fans of Ludacris, but they're also like really loving my vibe. So now you need to triple down on those people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do this differently. They
create a new campaign just on those.
Right. Focus on them.
Whatever percentage.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Focus on Dallas and Houston, the age group that's getting the most likes and views on your stuff, and then try to spread out from there.
And then this comes back to the next part is you actually have to be doing shows.
Yes, shows are
just
so
super important. You
need the feedback.
You need to actively, stay booked, because
Yes.
playing one show a year in your hometown is not good enough. You have to build a market, you know what I mean? So you have to build a demographic, and people have to see you, and you have to create events around your business, you know what I mean?
But this is all market research.
Yeah.
Like as a startup, that's what you need. You need research. You need to know your market. You need to understand your market. Like, look, if your market is 18 to 25-year-olds, mainly female, in suburban neighborhoods around major metropolitan cities, like, dude, duh. You're not going to go on tour and hit downtown LA. You're not going to do that. That's not your audience. You're going to be like, yo, I need to be out in, past Burbank, and I need to sell tickets and market to those kids out there.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, you're doing it all backwards. It doesn't matter what you want your fans to be. I mean, I think that that's the biggest thing. Like, it doesn't matter what you think or you want your clients to be. They are who they are.
You service who the people who
your
like
startup.
what you do.
Feed your audience.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for your Instagram, your Facebook, your website. Like, feed your audience what they want. Like, don't think about yourself so much. I know it's hard because it's like the artist is very egocentric, very myopic. You know, that's what artistry is. It's like, oh, me and I'm so passionate. I'm so creative. But you got to look past that if you want to build a business around it.
Let's get into some of the more technical shit around artist businesses, at least to the extent we know. Everyone wants to play shows. Let's get that out of the way.
Right.
But how do you play shows? It comes by just the small shit. You know, you have local shows all the time. You need to call in and talk to the promoters of each of these shows. You should know the people in your circuit or in your city. And people are like, well, how do I go on tour? Well, you go on tour by creating a local audience, and then you have a value to anyone going on tour, because when they come to this city, they know that they can sell this many tickets. So it's, proof of concept, like Brad said.
They'll have you open for them.
You have to create a proof of concept, and then you also need to know like markets. So if you're big in the Bay Area, you know that Denver, another stoner city, is going to be a like market, in that you need to focus those markets and build that out. So
or even like college towns.
Yeah. Like Arizona,
Totally.
Phoenix, or what I mean. There's so many places just like that. So you have to figure out the like markets. You got to build in those places, and then you can go on tour when you've built enough markets to where you become a value and asset to someone else who's big, who needs those, needs to create in those areas. And that's how you get a part of tours. That's how you get booking agents, because booking agents come and see this type of shit. So
yeah, exactly.
The next important thing is you're wondering capitalization off of all of this. Everyone's like, okay, well, I put in all this money. How do I make some money back? This capitalization is the hardest part for the artist business.
Yep.
It comes at the latest stage, which means you have to have created a pretty decent buzz to get some decent capitalization off of it. And really it comes down to what are you selling? I think people rush to things thinking that their streams are gonna afford them a lot of things. Streams don't pay out. I mean, I've seen the payouts on streams. Like, I'm talking about the mechanicals and the royalties, the back ends, the PROs, the pub. It takes a fuck ton of streams. Like, even 1 million streams doesn't pay out that well. You know what I mean?
It's like 1.6 million streams. Doesn't matter what platform is. It's around $1,000.
But I can tell you, if you can sell,
most artists will never have a song that gets to 1.6 million streams.
Yeah.
Without buying bots and stream bots and all that shit.
And if they're buying, they're paying money into those streams,
right, exactly.
Which means you should be negative
so
streams.
You're taking
you should be
out
negative.
From the pot.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm coming back to is it's a lot easier to sell a $40 hoodie for $6. And pay $6 to make it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what your focus should be on. Like, that's the game. It's like, how do I get people to care enough about my music to sell them other things? You know what I mean? Like, can I get a T-shirt to them for $20 that it costs $3 for me to print and ship? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the real game. That's how you capitalize. I think people are too focused on being lit or this. You know what I mean? And are focused on the wrong metrics. You know what I mean? It's like, and I guess there's different approaches. You have, back to just regular business. You have the Gary Vee approach of like, hey, everyone should really like focus on putting in the effort to build, and everything should be free, and you know what I mean. And that method has worked too in the past, where artists will put everything out for free. You know what I mean?
Right.
The songs are free. This is free. The shows could even be free. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can run free shows if you have you have investment in your artist brand. You can run that artist model, or you can do what most of us have to do, which is to try to like create an income stream out of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to find the things that you can actually monetize.
Yeah, so
and you could do effectively and deliver on. Like, it's a real big issue, with producers nowadays and artists. That relationship, the artists want to come in and get the production for free and then split the back end.
Mm-hmm.
But if the artist isn't big enough to get any back end, then it doesn't matter. Like, the producer shouldn't be doing that. But the producer can do it to get, like, if he or she believes in the product. Like, for example, if the artist comes in and goes, yo, man, I don't have very many streams. I don't really have a very big brand right now, but, like, I'm starting to get going and I think we can make some really great stuff together. And the producer agrees, like, look, we're going to go in as a partnership, right? Then both of them are putting their foot in. But the thing I say about those businesses and that model is that you have to ask the artist to spend money as well. So like, we're producers, we're going to give up the studio, we're going to give up our time, the overhead costs of all the gear, all the things we've paid for over the years, all the skills and talents. The artist should be putting in money to market, to get management, distribution deals, whatever, to help push the music so that there can be back end recouped, or even like a pub deal on the table or a distro deal on the table, where the producer would be a part of that split. For example, if you helped get these songs done and you produced and you didn't take anything up front, you should be taking half of the advance on the distro deal or pub deal.
You know what these guys are thinking? It's all like, oh yeah, they're going to get big and their back catalog is going to be worth something. So but it'll be bought out by a label.
But that could be decades.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it could
that's
take
a
10
really
years.
long game to play.
And it's a gamble. Like, most artists, I would say the majority, will never have a hit single, will never have a song that goes past 1 million streams, will never make more than $5,000 off their music alone. And I know that's hard to hear, but that is the truth. That is the absolute statistic facts. Most artists, the majority, will not make it.
What is a creative business, the stats on creative businesses, period?
I'm sure.
I think it's like a 91% failure rate.
Yeah, so it's really, really tough.
Yeah.
And that's because most of them are thinking about selling the creative when that's not what you're selling. You need to monetize other things. But you're looking for distro deals and publishing deals because you're going to not only get an advance, but you're going to get the publicity behind it, the marketing machine behind it. And even then, that's not even a promise,
I think another thing we should talk about too, because there's multiple ways to monetize as an artist, but that like the easiest things to me are, obviously, like I've already said, merchandising.
Yeah.
Merchandising you can make the most off of, in my opinion. But another big one that
you're just talking margins. The merchandising margins are
huge.
higher,
Yeah.
way higher.
But another big one, and another one that a lot of artists are taking now, is syncs. You know what I mean? And that makes a lot more sense for producers too. When you're splitting and you're really focused on syncs. Like, literally there's sync bands and artists that are literally just building off of syncs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
these are all good avenues. Yeah. I think as a startup, you should focus. You should spread yourself into Okay, so this is the hard part. You should focus and not put all, like, how they say don't put all your eggs in one basket. I absolutely disagree with that. I think as a startup, as an artist, you know what you're good at.
Yeah.
Put all your eggs in that fucking basket. If you don't know shit about sync licensing, like, don't start putting eggs over there. Don't put eggs into this and then that.
Well, as an artist brand, you're going to have to find these things out. Your music may not work very good to sync.
Sure, but
if you're doing some
but you're going to find out where your money's coming from.
About taking drugs, it's going to be hard for you to get a lot of syncs. You know what I mean?
So exactly my point. So if you're really good at, and you see that you're making $100 a week, I know that's nothing, but $100 a week to some artists is like a big deal, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm starting to monetize my music. Where's that $100 coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Now triple down on that. Put all your eggs into that basket. Like, don't go like, I got a drip, I got $100 a week from this thing, and then we should take that $100 and go make some, whatever. Like, no. Just start focusing on that thing that's giving you money.
Yep.
because you're doing something right there. And I think that that's the biggest thing in startup businesses is that they do this. And then like halfway through the year, they come up with all these new ideas, new business plans, new things they should be doing, and they forget about the thing that's actually making them money.
Mm-hmm.
And every artist does this. I mean, you got to be really, really focused and really diligent about what you're doing as an artist to stay away from that mindset where you're like, yo, we're getting $1,000 a week now. We should go put it over here and then invest in this. Like, you see it all the time.
Yeah.
Artists don't know shit about real estate, and they might start investing in real estate like when they see a first BMI check or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are you doing? You have no idea what anything of that. You get into other businesses, artists will start great example. Artists will start making like clothing companies, and they'll start doing like weed companies, and they'll start doing food companies and stuff. You're like,
oh yeah,
that's not even your business.
You bought a taco truck now.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, you start doing that, and that's where you fail because you don't know anything about that business, and your money is not coming from that. You're just now throwing your money away. You're like, oh, but I need a taco truck because that's cool.
But
I want to do that. It sounds fun.
You know what? We should just cover some of the main artist businesses. And I think, so like I said, a merchandising business, that is like a lot of them that a lot of artists eat off of. I'm talking about like mid-level artists. I'm not talking, of course, the huge guys.
Yeah, but we're focused on startups right now.
Yeah. So I'm
like
just
your
saying,
merchandise
if you're trying to build to a mid-level artist, but I'm telling you, when Drake goes and does those arena shows, they do like $8 million worth of merch.
Oh, their merch makes a lot of money. That's
and
most their,
you know how much they're making
margin.
off of tickets? You know what I mean?
Not as much as the merch.
Just depends on where you're at though. When you can make a lot off of tickets if you're a small business. Drake, who's going to Ticketmaster, his splits on tickets are trash, I'm sure.
Yeah, not only that, the cost of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, everybody's unionized.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you're a small artist and you're doing small events of 100 people, and then you can make a lot off those tickets, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to pay, a door charge of maybe 10 to 20%.
Yeah, and what I would do if I was an artist that started to get going a little bit as a startup, and you start pulling for like a normal, like regular venue you're playing, right? I would start to negotiate with a percentage of the bar.
Yeah.
So I'd say, hey, look, I want this much of my ticket sales, and then I want 3% of the bar sales for the night.
But yeah,
you have to negotiate this stuff though. People are like, artists are very scared of this stuff, right?
The game is really kind of interesting with
it's wide open
booking.
It's wide open
because a lot of the venues are going to take anywhere from 10 to 20% of your merch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and some of those venues
that's
are
usually
pay to
in
play.
Contracts. Yeah, especially if you're opening for artists, you're definitely, a lot of it's a pay to play thing. Like, Lil Wayne's in town and you want to pay to play to open, but That's a big one. That would actually cost a lot of money to open for Lil Wayne.
Yeah, God.
But yeah, the smaller acts, it's a lot of times it's between the promoters and pay to play type shit, which can work if you have like a decent funding where you can do that consistently. You know what I mean? But back to what we were saying, building an audience. It's an interesting thing. Getting them to appear somewhere. The funny fact is that it is way more important that you can get 100 people to come to an event of yours than having 1,000 people on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You have 1,000 followers, 5,000 followers, and if you can get 500 into a venue, that's way bigger than you having a mill. You know what I mean?
It's all about conversion. It's like, how can you, like, your following is not your following. It's they're not a following. They're not a fan base until they actually convert into a transaction.
Yeah, you can activate them. You know what I mean?
No matter what. Yeah. Like, it's not using them. It's not anything like shady. It's truly business. It's like
getting them to buy your
pure
product.
Business.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot provide you with any value until we make an exchange of value. So if you're going to buy a ticket and pay for me to make my next record, then I can make another record.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the whole point. Like, you can't be an artist if you can't convert. Like, and I mean, you can't be an artist making music for a living. You can be an artist that does it part-time. You can be an artist that does it on the side. You could be a weekend warrior. You could do whatever, make art whenever you feel like it. Awesome. But if you want to be a music business and you want to start to really make money and do it and keep doing it for longevity, you have to convert no matter what. Those things have to close into monetized deals. Your streaming numbers have to go up. Your stock has to go up. Your brand has to go up. You have to sell out more shows. You have to make more money. And because you want to make better product, you want to make better music, you want to get better producers involved, mixing engineers, mastering engineers, you want to get labels involved, you want to get more reach. Yeah, marketing, everything, visuals. Without money, you can't do that stuff. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. It will always be like that too. You can pull favors. You can get away with like, yeah, my team and we're doing splits and stuff. You can do that for a while. But then the minute someone really needs to eat, they're gone. The minute they need to pay their bills, they're gone. So you have to be making money. The business has to make money. That's what a business is. You're not a non-for-profit. You're not any of that stuff. You are a business.
Even non-profits make money.
Even they make money.
They cover overhead and
they
everything.
cover expenses, exactly.
Yeah, they have a lot of expenses.
So, so you're not a charity, like you're not coming out like, guys, please pay for my next record. And we got these Kickstarters and we got GoFundMes and stuff like that. And I would never be afraid to go into that as an artist. I think you should definitely do that and tap into those resources.
Yeah.
I think it's important. Angel investors, find private investors, people that would go like, yo, I want some of your publishing. I want 25% of your publishing. I want this much of your show sales and this much of your merch sales. And I'm willing to put in $60K.
I want this many points on the master.
Yeah. Fine.
Managers will do that.
Give it up.
Now.
Give it up so that you can build a career. Because without that, you don't have funding. And if you don't have funding, you'll stop making music. I promise you, I swear on everything that is good and holy, you will stop making music the minute you run out of money. And it happens with so many artists we work with. They get into it, they start making a record, they start finishing their record with us, and then what happens, Kev?
Shit, dog.
Bro, I'm waiting on a bag. I gotta wait. The minute you're waiting, the minute you're saying, I gotta wait.
There's nothing wrong with a part-time artist too, because I think you have to be at the beginning. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So we've had this. We had a podcast on when should you quit your job. You know what I mean? So.
But I
don't. Back to that.
I think if you're really in it, like you've made the leap and you're trying to do this startup like thing, like you have to treat it like you're in Silicon Valley and you're working the 90, 100 hours a week. You're sleeping under the desk. You're doing whatever it takes. You're making sales calls, cold calls. You're hitting up everyone you know. You're getting funding. You're asking for funding and you're making it work. Because any minute and any hour that you're not working on the business, you're not working on growing the business, is a minute that your business is starting to fall back down. As a startup, that's how it works. It's just always going to be like that. Nobody knows you. You're trying to get out of obscurity. You're literally swimming in quicksand. You're trying so hard to get above water. You're trying to get a breath in. And without that persistent work and hitting it, you will just fall back down. It's the water well again. The water just goes right back down the pipe. And then you got to go pump again as hard as you can.
You know what? There's a lot of artists that get success and then they get beaten by that success, too.
Oh, for sure. Overcapitalization is a great example of that.
The startup, artists will get a big hit and will gain momentum, even go on tours, all that, and then they will fall off the edge of the universe.
Yeah, it's too much pressure. They weren't ready for it.
Yeah,
it happens all the time.
Yeah, also, too, it comes from scaling the business. If you get too much of success and you don't actually have the things in place to maintenance that, you know what I mean?
Fair.
So if you get a big single and you got it,
got the team,
it went viral, but you didn't actually do the marketing spend to get it viral.
Right,
you know what I mean? Right. And you didn't build that. You know what I mean? You didn't have the PR in place to get.
How are you going to do the next one? That's not
you
a viral
don't do
hit.
the next one, and then you don't get another hit, or
Facts.
you know what I mean? So success doesn't mean you made it.
No,
it doesn't mean your business is solid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't create the income streams. You might have had a hit, or a local hit or a regional hit. You know what I mean? Got played on the radio, but if you didn't create an income stream, you're still gonna fall off, like Brad said. Yeah. You're gonna do it, and then you're gonna ride that out, and you're gonna fall off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a hard game. This is probably the hardest industry ever to work in.
How many artists get signed and fall off? You know what I mean? Like, just think about that. It's because they didn't build the actual backbone. They didn't build the business. You know what I mean? So
I would say into the millions.
I'd say a good 80% of artists that get signed and release music on a major record label level.
Yeah.
Fall off because they didn't have a proper business set up. They didn't identify their markets. They didn't identify their income streams.
Yeah, it's setting up the process, setting up the team, setting up the scalability. Scalability is a big part of a startup. It's like, oh, you can take on this work, and they're like, yeah, dude, for sure. And then it hits, and then they're like scrambling to find, oh shit, I need a marketing person now. You don't just scramble for that.
You didn't have a team in play.
Yeah, that's really hard. But anyway, hopefully this is really helpful for you guys. We have a lot of resources here at Radium. It's something that we love doing. I love working with new artists. I know you do, Kev. Finding the right talent is really tough in this business. You find a lot of artists that are wannabes. They'll never make it in music. 100%, I believe that. And that's okay. And I think that if you really are like meant for this and built for this. It's definitely a lifestyle more than, randomly I love music, so I'm going to go make a business out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to love business and music. And I would say in that order. And if you just love music, then just do something like where you work for someone, be a producer for someone, be a writer for someone, do it part-time, have a part-time job. Don't stress yourself out. It's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say that from the bottom of my heart, that if you don't truly feel it every day that you're built for this and this is the only thing you would do for a living and could do for a living, and if you were doing something else, you would feel terrible and miserable every day.
Yeah.
Then you should probably be working to do music as a business. And
a lot of people do that. A lot of A&Rs and producers and a lot of people get into the business side of music because they love the art, but they weren't all the way there. So
and we do offer an artist development program here at Radium. I got to do a shameless plug here, but this is something we've set up over the last 6 months, and it's very much dedicated to artists that are serious. They're in the business for the long haul. They're willing to take out the loan, put it on the credit card.
Yeah, I'll keep it real. It's not cheap. It's not for someone who doesn't want to spend money. You know what I mean?
It's for someone that wants to start their career with a solid foundation.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, and I think that was why we even decided to do it, and why I'm even talking about it here is because we want to help people. We want to help these artists that have no idea, but they're very talented. They have great music. They're on their way. They got 60% of it figured out. And they just don't know business. They don't know where to start. They don't know marketing. They don't know how to get a team together. Who's going to do what? How do I get a distro deal? How do I even start to do that?
How do I run ads? What's the copy on the ads?
What's a good deal?
What is the branding for my single? What are the fonts, colors, everything? How do I create a cohesive campaign with my song that travels upon the music, the marketing, and then my overall artist brand? Like, how do I make that cohesive? We figured out.
Yeah, so it's a lot of this stuff has gone into, just the years of experience being in business and being in music, and understanding the margins and what a contract is and why get a contract, why get an advance, what you should spend the advance on.
How do I set up my PROs, my publishing company?
How do you collect the money?
How do I get
what do
my
you do with the money?
mechanicals?
What are the taxes?
How do I get songs on iTunes,
We're just going to
Spotify,
keep saying
wherever.
stuff, But no, truly, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. And I think that it's overwhelming for a lot of artists. I know, I was an artist. I still am an artist. And I think, as an artist, you want to just focus on being an artist. You want to be a dope artist. You want to make dope music. You want your experiences, your heart, your fun, the energy. You want it to come through, and you don't want to focus on how am I going to get paid, or does this make sense financially, or what am I doing, or how is this going to work? You want to just be I need to create. I need to get in the studio. I need to smoke. I need to vibe out, have a drink, create great music, make great art. And be an artist, truly just be an artist. And understanding a little bit of the business is really important, but having someone help you along the way and mentor you and answer questions, and people that have done it, it's just, I can't stress how much, I would straight up from the beginning, and this, Kev, 3 years ago, I would have just been yo, you can get me past all that, here's 10 grand, here's 20 grand. I would absolutely put that money up just to get past that part of it where it was just so stressful and all that, all those questions, I learned a lot, but it's also how much did that cost me, so.
Let's plug one more last thing. We offer a mentorship program here.
Yeah, for sure.
Why don't you talk to them a little bit, because we do mentor people.
The mentoring is something that I'm very passionate about. And, Kevin and I both like teaching a lot, it's something that, we did a lot of, just going to school together and just being, part of music, what plugin are you using? How does that work? What's that hardware? How does that work? What do you do with this? How does this work? And there were always questions, I think, and as you just learn and you study and you've been doing it for, 6, 7, 10 years, you become very very excited to share, you know. You get excited about like, yo, someone is where I was, 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I really just want to help them like not have to do the shit that I had to do, or like get over all that stuff.
Yeah, here's the downfalls and the failures.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And just like, so we do offer that as a mentorship.
For producers too, artists.
Producers, artists,
however,
composers, engineers. A lot of people out there just like really they're not getting like, here's my thought on this whole thing. It's like the information is available everywhere, right? But today in 2019 and beyond, information is not what you need. What you need is direct connections and you need access. And if you have access, that's so much more important than information now, because the information is all over the place. It's skewed. Nobody really knows if it's right or wrong. But if you have access, you can talk to, you can ask questions to, you can,
applying information too, right?
It's it's the applicable information, the stuff that you can actually do.
What do I need to freaking focus on?
Facts.
How do I make this work?
Because there's entrepreneurs all over the place talking about stuff. There's entrepreneurs everywhere that don't actually do business. They sell business. It's weird. And then there's like engineers that don't know anything about engineering that are putting up YouTube videos on engineering.
They don't know the physics.
They don't know anything about it. They're just literally like, this is dope. I use this to do this because it's dope. Like, I think it's really important to get the right information, but to have the access, have the conversations, and be able to build together. Like, I like to be a part of everybody's success as much as I want other people to be part of my success, Yep. So yeah, if you guys are interested, artist development packages, mixing and mastering, production, but also mentoring. It's something we love doing here, and we're building a team around it. And it means a lot to us that we can give back.
Mm-hmm.
Big part of this business is being able to share openly. So that's it. Episode 61. Get Kevin, reach out to him, DM him, spam him up. Go comment, fire emoji on all his shit at KDE Beats on IG.
Bradley HD.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah. We'll have another one next week.